In this video, I'm going to show you guys the rarest item in TYCOON RNG. So yeah, as you can see, we are inside of a different game. I have not made any videos on this game, but it's called TYCOON RNG, and it's actually a pretty fun game. And yeah, in this video, I have been grinding a ton, and I have acquired one of the rarest items in the entire game. And I'm also going to show you guys the setup I'm using as well, and if you guys can replicate it to make some pretty good profit. So yeah, make sure you guys watch the entire video so you guys can see everything. So yeah, let's get into it right now. So yeah, this is currently my base right now, and this is what it's actually looking like. And yeah, it's doing pretty good so far, but I think I want to make a few changes to it. So yeah, if we go ahead and head up here, as you can see, I have some of these mines right here that are pretty much just dropping ores. I'm going to go ahead and change these mines in a bit because I want to make some changes really quick. Not right now, but I'm going to in a bit. But yeah, as you can see, the first upgraders is a microscope right here, followed by a steam engine, which adds 2 fueled. And then they head down here, and then they run through 3 of these gates of calamities, which are actually pretty strong. As you can see, they're each 173x. So they are pretty decent. And then we go ahead and have a steampunk overdrive right here, which gives 188x, but then also gives a extra 1.12x multiplier for each fueled. And if you guys remember up here, the steampunk engine was giving 2 extra fueled, so we're getting a little bit of a buff there, but still not too much. And yeah, if we head down here, we have a caustic lab, which I also plan on replacing this after I show you guys everything. And after that, we have my best upgrader out of all of my upgraders right here, called the electrical annihilation. And yeah, it has a 315x multiplier, which is pretty overpowered. But yeah, what it also does, as you can see, it gives an extra 2.5x multiplier if the ore is acid. And yeah, this caustic lab item right here basically just adds acid for 3 seconds, as you can see. So it makes some acid and gives an extra multiplier by running into this electrical annihilation. And following that, I have an abyssal change right here, which basically just removes the fire and the acid. And it also adds wet, which is pretty important. I'll show you guys that at the end. And then I have an extreme heat, which adds fire, which is 132x, not bad. And then I have a perfect lawn, which removes the fire and then also adds 2 fire if it is on fire. So yeah, now thinking about it, I think I should probably make some changes really quick. I think I'm gonna change this forbidden breeze right here out for the perfect lawn, just a little bit of a change. I think this actually should help. Alright, hold on, I need to make a few more changes. I think I'm gonna replace this second last upgrader right here. Hold on. Alright, there we go. I just had to go ahead and replace a couple upgraders, or not replace, but swap out the positions. So yeah, there we go. I'm not sure if this is actually still working yet. I might still have to do a lot more changes. But yeah, after this extreme heat, we have a forbidden breeze right here now, and then we have a microscope, which is 171, and then we have a bubblegum stockpile, which makes the ores bouncy. And then finally the last 2 upgraders, and then the furnace, which is actually my best item by far, is we have a sunstone pylon, and then finally a perfect lawn right here. But yeah, for the best item I have in my entire base is this furnace right here by far. As you can see, we have the item called the Tidal Temple, and yeah, it is a 1 in 1.13 billion drop chance, which is honestly extremely rare, and then also gives a 1.12 thousand multiplier, which is absolutely ridiculous. And then on top of that, it gives an extra 2.2x multiplier if the ore is wet. So yeah, that is in this item right here is by far the best item I have in my entire base. And also the furnace that I did roll was like around a 1 in 1.8 billion. There actually is a leaderboard right here for the highest rarity rolled in the game, which is actually a pretty cool leaderboard, and it shows the rarest items people have gotten. And yeah, if we scroll to the bottom, as you can see, the bottom is 1.64 billion off of top 100. So considering the very number 1 person got a 19 billion, I would probably be in the top. I'm probably in the top couple hundred just from that singular item being dropped. It definitely has to be up there, and also the item being a furnace as well definitely gives it a pretty big up in my opinion. And yeah, we were just getting a roll right there. But yeah, I think I want to go ahead and remove all these items and make a completely different setup to see if we can make more money, because currently we're not making too much right now. We're doing pretty bad, not gonna lie. We're only getting 30 DD every second, and I want to try and increase that if I can. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna head over to the settings, and I'm gonna withdraw all of my items. There we go. So now I can just build this thing completely from scratch. And yeah, the items I think I want to go ahead and try and use is these Guitation drippers, because as you can see, they do have a 2 times wet multiplier, so I would think it would increase my wet by a little bit for the furnaces. So we're definitely going to be trying these out. I do only have 2 of those upgraded ones, or the extremely upgraded ones. I do have some other ones right here that are a little bit lower. I can go ahead and use these for sure. And if these mines aren't too good, we can go ahead and swap them out at a later time. But yeah, I should have enough to actually get the entire all placements. Okay, maybe I don't. I think I did run out of them, or no, I have some more right here, but they are a little bit worse. And yeah, to be honest, I think I'll just use the rest of the mines for these digital war worlds right here, because these digital worlds are actually pretty good. They give it 832 per second, and they're also pretty good with the time and don't have any vulnerabilities to the ores. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use 3 of those, and these are all the mines I'm gonna be using. So let's go ahead and see if we can do some pretty good upgrades, hopefully. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and start with a perfect mine right here, which hopefully this should increase the wet by 2 because it is not on fire. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start with my perfect lawn right here, so it'll go ahead and add 2 wet because the items or the ores are not on fire. I guess for my next item, I'm just gonna put something that doesn't really matter that much, so I'm just gonna put this microscope right here. There we go. And yeah, once we get down here, I'm gonna throw down these ores of the gates of calamities again, because these are some pretty good upgraders. And yeah, I also do have the infernal winds ore currently active, which basically means that none of my ores will die from fire. So it does make these gates of calamities actually pretty useful. Okay, actually I want to go to make a change already. I'm going to change this microscope up here for this steam engine right here, which should give us some extra fuel, so I'll take that. And then right down here, I'm going to replace this steampunk overdrive. There we go. Alright, and then for my next item, I'm going to go ahead and put down another microscope, and then I'm going to replace this electrical annihilation, and then these abyssal chains just to make sure everything gets removed. And this abyssal chains also does add wet as well, which is pretty nice. But yeah, I think there is something wrong in my setup. I think I need to figure out which one is making these items not wet anymore. Alright, I think I'm actually going to take a different strategy. I'm just going to keep messing around probably with all these upgraders and see if I can hopefully find a good combination of these, and then when I do, I guess I'll come back and show you guys what I've done. Alright, we are back, and I went ahead and made pretty much all the changes that I could have done, at least with the items that I do have, and we're honestly sitting around the same, which is kind of sad. But yeah, something else I've also realized is I need to stock up a lot more items. My biggest problem right now is the items that I have aren't able to do as much multipliers as they could, and I also don't have the right items to do the right combinations as well, which also I found out that these perfect lawns right here are extremely helpful to get wet on for this tile temple. So if I had a lot more of these perfect lawns, I would be able to get so much added wet multipliers. It would be insane. But yeah, unfortunately I only own 1 perfect lawn, so it's going to be a lot more difficult to do that. And yeah, honestly it is kind of unfortunate because I was kind of hoping that I would be able to get a lot more wet. I'm only able to stack up 3 wet right now because all my upgraders are not really that good. I only have 30 of them as well, and pretty much all of them don't really help out that much. So yeah, I definitely need to try and get a lot more upgraders because it seems like I'm not doing too well. But yeah, I know there's some players in the game that are able to get like 20x wets on a single ore, and yeah, I can't even imagine how OP that would be if you were able to mix all those wets with this furnace that I have. It would probably be absolutely insanely broken and way more than I would ever get, at least right now. But yeah, it seems like I'm gonna have to do a lot more grinding to get a lot more items. But yeah, I went ahead and modified my setup pretty much the best way I could. And yeah, this is currently the setup that I am rocking with. I have all the previous droppers that I mentioned earlier, and then starting out I have 2 gates of calamities to get rid of the fire, or to hurry up and get rid of the upgraders, because I want to use these upgraders but I also don't want to have the fire for as long, so I went ahead and placed them all 3 at the very beginning. And then we have the steam engine, followed by the steampunk overdrive, and then followed by a forbidden breeze. And then after that it drops down to an aurora tundra right here, which I think honestly I might be able to replace this upgrader if I can find something that'll work. Alright, I went ahead and put my extreme heat right here, and then an aurora tundra which goes ahead and removes the fire, and then the electrical annihilation, followed by 2 171x multiplier microscope, and then followed by a bubblegum stockpile, and then a sunstone pylon, and then the final 2 upgraders, and then followed by the furnace right here. Alright, there we go. I went ahead and made all the final changes, I believe, to the setup that I think is probably going to be for the best that I can do. And yeah, I think we should be making a little bit more than what I did before. We're currently around the same, but it should be changing because I did just make some changes. And yeah, after letting it run for a minute, we've only been able to get to around 44 DD, which is a little bit better than previously, but still not as good as I was hoping. Still not bad though for just mixing the items around, which I think is still pretty decent. But yeah, unfortunately, I just don't think I have as good of upgraders right now as I could have, so it seems like I'm going to have to do a lot more opening to get to a lot better upgraders. And yeah, also as you can see, for my player upgrades for the Tycoon, I have every single one maxed out already, which is pretty nice. So yeah, I pretty much have the max luck, the max roll speed you can do in the game, besides obviously using items inside of your inventory. But I also have some pretty good items. As you can see, I actually do have the rarest item in the game called the Stellar Nebula, and what it does, as you can see right under it, is it guarantees you a 1 in 100,000 roll. So yeah, it's actually a pretty cool item. However, it is very difficult to get your hands on it, and I think I'm just going to be holding holding onto it just because it is so rare. And yeah, I don't really need a 1 in 100x item just for it to be pretty bad if I don't really need it. But yeah, what I do want to do, I guess, is for a couple minutes, I'm going to go and turn on auto roll for a bit. I'm going to pop every single item or luck boost you can do in the game. So we're going to be having the maximum luck, the maximum roll speed for a pretty decent bit of time. So I'm going to go ahead and pop all these boosts, or at least enough to open up for a bit, and we'll go ahead and run an auto for a bit and see if we can get any good drops. Alright, there we go. We are using every single item. As you can see on the bottom, we have the fast roll for 100x roll or 100% rolling speed. We have VIP boost for 30% luck. We have infernal winds for 50% rolling speed. We have our base upgrades for 100% luck. We have a technosphere for 150% rolling speed, an inferno cube for 100% rolling speed, a pastel cube for 50% luck and 25% rolling speed, and then we have the haze cube, the fortune cube, the speed cube, and the luck cube. So yeah, we have everything going for ourselves. So we're gonna go and turn on auto for a bit, and we're gonna go and open up with all these boosts. And yeah, this is the fastest you can pretty much open up in the entire game. There really isn't any faster or even any luck much more you can add to yourself. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and grind with this for a little bit, and we'll see if we can get any good drop. Alright, we are back, and I'm not sure if what we got. I don't think we did get much of anything, unfortunately. But yeah, I guess I'm just gonna continue grinding, and hopefully I can actually make or get some a lot better upgrades, and hopefully I can actually make a lot more of wets. And yeah, hopefully by the next update I'll be able to have some pretty good improvements from what I have right now. So yeah, pretty much is everything for the video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel because we're on the road to 100k subs. I really appreciate if you guys subscribe. And yeah, thank you boys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.